The courtroom in downtown Chicago erupted in chaos as the judge slammed her gavel, declaring Elena Ramirez the sole heir to the McKinnon estate, worth over $50 million. Gasps rippled through the packed gallery, where Elena's estranged family sat frozen in disbelief, their faces twisted with rage and betrayal. But Elena, standing tall in her simple black suit, felt no triumph, only the hollow echo of the $50 her own mother had once taken to hand her over to strangers, a transaction that shattered her childhood and set her on this unforgiving path. It all started 15 years earlier in a rundown trailer park on the outskirts of Detroit. Elena was just 12 when she overheard the argument that would change everything. Her mother, Maria, a woman worn down by poverty and addiction, was screaming at her latest boyfriend, a sleazy mechanic named Rick. "She's nothing but trouble," Maria spat, her voice slurred from cheap whiskey. "Always sneaking around with that neighbor girl, acting all weird. $50 and you can take her, problem solved." Rick laughed, tossing a crumpled bill onto the table, and just like that, Elena was bundled into his truck, tears streaming down her face as the trailer faded in the rearview mirror. Elena didn't understand it then, the whispers about her unnatural crushes on girls at school, the way her mother would slap her for lingering too long with her best friend Sophie. But as Rick drove her to a foster home in Chicago, promising her a better life, while leering in a way that made her skin crawl, the seeds of resentment took root. She spent the next few years bouncing between group homes, each one a battleground of survival. By 16, Elena had toughened up, her once soft features hardening into a mask of defiance. She worked odd jobs after school, saving every penny, dreaming of escape. That's when she met Lucinda Thompson, a fiery redhead in her history class, who saw through Elena's walls and sparked something real. A connection that terrified and thrilled her in equal measure. Their first kiss happened behind the school gym, hidden from prying eyes. Lucinda, with her bold laugh and unapologetic spirit, pulled Elena close, whispering, "You don't have to hide who you are with me." For the first time, Elena felt seen, not as a burden or a freak, but as someone worthy of love. But joy was short-lived. When Lucinda's conservative parents discovered their relationship, they yanked her out of school and shipped her off to a relative in Texas. Elena was left heartbroken, the sting of abandonment reinforcing her mother's betrayal. "People like us don't get happy endings," she told herself, channeling the pain into determination. She graduated top of her class, earning a scholarship to the University of Chicago, where she majored in business, vowing to build a life where no one could sell her out again. Years passed and Elena climbed the corporate ladder at a mid-sized firm, her sharp mind and relentless drive earning her promotions. But the past lurked like a shadow. One rainy afternoon, a private investigator knocked on her apartment door. "Miss Ramirez? I'm here about your biological father." Elena's world tilted. Maria had always claimed her father was a deadbeat who vanished, but the truth was far more explosive. He was Alistair McKinnon, a reclusive billionaire from an old money family, who had a brief affair with Maria during a business trip to Detroit. Alistair had died 6 months earlier, leaving a will that named any legitimate heirs, and DNA tests confirmed Elena was his daughter. The news hit like a freight train. Elena stared at the documents, her hands trembling. $50 million. Mansions in New York and LA, stocks, art collections. But claiming it meant facing the McKinnons, a family steeped in tradition, where homosexuality was whispered about like a curse. Alistair's widow, Victoria, a sharp-tongued socialite, had already contested the will, calling Elena a gold-digging imposter. The legal battle began, dragging Elena into a whirlwind of depositions and media scrutiny. Tabloids splashed her face across headlines. Lesbian love child fights for fortune. Strangers online debated her worthiness, spewing hate about her orientation, while her half-siblings, privileged twins in their 30s, hired top lawyers to discredit her. Amid the chaos, Elena reconnected with Lucinda, now a journalist in Chicago. Their reunion was electric, old flames reigniting over coffee that turned into late-night talks. "I've never stopped thinking about you," Lucinda confessed, her hand brushing Elena's. But love came with complications. Lucinda was out and proud, marching in pride parades, while Elena had learned to compartmentalize, hiding her relationships to avoid judgment in her conservative workplace. "What if this ruins everything?" Elena whispered one night, as they lay entangled in sheets. Lucinda pulled back, eyes searching. Hiding who we are is what ruins us, Elena. You deserve to live openly. The pressure mounted. Maria resurfaced, crawling out of obscurity to beg for a cut of the inheritance. I did what I had to, she slurred over the phone, her voice a ghost from the past. Elena hung up, but the call unearthed buried rage. Why had her mother sold her? Was it the poverty, the addiction, or the shame of having a deviant daughter? Therapy sessions helped, but each revelation felt like peeling scabs. Elena's boss, sensing the distraction, demoted her subtly, citing focus issues. Friends distanced themselves, wary of the scandal. And through it all, Lucinda pushed for commitment, urging Elena to come out publicly during the trial. It's not just about the money, it's about owning your truth. As the court date loomed, Elena faced her first major crossroads. Victoria McKinnon offered a settlement. $5 million to drop the claim and disappear. We don't want your kind tarnishing our name, she sneered in a private meeting. Elena's fists clenched. Accepting meant financial security without the fight, but it also meant betraying herself again. Hiding in the shadows her mother had thrust her into. She refused, her voice steady. This isn't just about the money. It's about what was taken from me. The decision cost her sleep, friendships, and nearly her job, but it forged something unbreakable inside her. The trial began with fireworks. Witnesses paraded. Maria, rambling incoherently on the stand, admitting to the $50 deal under cross-examination. The gallery murmured in shock. Elena's lawyer painted her as the victim of circumstance, a self-made woman deserving of her birthright. But the McKinnons fought dirty, digging up Elena's past relationships, insinuating her lifestyle, made her unfit for the family legacy. Lucinda sat in the front row every day, her presence a lifeline, but the strain showed. Arguments flared at home about Elena's reluctance to testify about their love. If you won't fight for us, how can I? Lucinda asked, tears in her eyes. By the end of the first phase, Elena was exhausted, questioning every choice. Had refusing the settlement been pride or foolishness? The emotional toll was immense, each day chipping away at her resolve. Yet, in quiet moments, she felt a spark of liberation. The act of claiming her place forcing her to confront the shame she'd carried since childhood. The second week of the trial brought Elena face to face with her half-siblings, Liam and Sophia McKinnon. Liam, a polished investment banker with Alistair's stern jaw, took the stand first. My father would never have wanted this, he declared, his voice dripping with entitlement. He built this empire on family values, traditional ones. The implication hung heavy. Elena's sexuality disqualified her. Sophia, a social media influencer married to a senator's son, followed, tears artfully staged. She's tearing our family apart for money she doesn't deserve. Elena watched from her seat, her stomach churning. These were blood relatives, yet they treated her like an intruder, their privilege a shield against empathy. Outside the courthouse, protesters gathered, some waving rainbow flags in support, others hurling slurs about family destroyers. Elena's inbox flooded with hate mail, anonymous threats that kept her up at night. Lucinda tried to shield her, cooking meals and offering massages, but tension simmered. You need to address this head-on, Lucinda urged during a heated dinner. Tell the world about us. It could sway public opinion. Elena slammed her fork down. And risk everything? My career, my safety? You don't get it. I've been sold out before. The argument escalated, words like daggers. Lucinda stormed out, leaving Elena alone with her doubts. Was love worth the exposure? The next day, Elena's turn on the stand arrived. Under oath, she recounted her childhood, the abandonment, the foster homes, the struggle to survive. I didn't choose this fight, she said, her voice cracking. But I won't let anyone erase me again. The McKinnon's lawyer pounced, probing her personal life. Isn't it true you're in a relationship with another woman? Does that align with the McKinnon values? Elena hesitated, glancing at Lucinda in the audience. In that moment, a decision crystallized. Yes, she admitted. I'm gay, and I'm proud of it. But my orientation has nothing to do with my right to this inheritance. The courtroom buzzed. Reporters scribbled furiously. Elena stepped down, heart pounding, feeling both liberated and exposed. The fallout was swift. Her boss called that evening. We support diversity, but this publicity. We're letting you go. Elena stared at her phone, the job she'd clawed her way to vanishing in an instant. Friends from work ghosted her. Whispers of too controversial circulating. Even some LGBTQ+ allies distanced themselves, fearing association with the messy inheritance battle. But Lucinda returned, wrapping her in a fierce hug. That took guts. I'm proud of you. Their reconciliation was tentative, built on Elena's newfound vulnerability. Yet the cost weighed heavy. Unemployment meant dipping into savings, and the trial's end seemed distant. As weeks dragged on, evidence mounted in Elena's favor. DNA results were irrefutable, and old letters from Alistair surfaced, hinting at regret over abandoning Maria and their child. I wish I could make it right, one read. Victoria McKinnon cracked under pressure, admitting in deposition that Alistair had known about Elena but feared scandal. The revelation shifted the narrative. Elena wasn't the opportunist. She was the overlooked daughter seeking justice. Public sympathy swung, with op-eds praising her courage against familial bigotry. But victory felt Pyrrhic. Maria showed up at Elena's door unannounced, reeking of desperation. You owe me, kid. I raised you till I couldn't. Elena's laugh was bitter. Raised me? You sold me for booze money. The confrontation unearthed layers of pain. Maria's own closeted youth, forced into heteronormative misery by her strict Catholic family. I thought I was saving you from what I went through, Maria confessed, tears streaming. Elena recoiled. Was this an excuse or a twisted truth? She slammed the door, but the encounter forced her to question forgiveness. Could she hate her mother forever? Or was understanding the path to healing? Lucinda, sensing Elena's turmoil, suggested therapy together. Sessions revealed Elena's deep-seated fear of betrayal, rooted in that $50 deal. Every relationship feels like a transaction, she admitted. Lucinda shared her own scars, parental rejection that led to years of self-doubt. Their bond deepened but not without sacrifice. Lucinda turned down a promotion that required relocation, choosing Elena over career advancement. We're in this together, she said. Elena nodded but guilt gnawed. Was she worth the trade-off? The trial's climax approached with closing arguments. Elena's lawyer hammered home the injustice. This isn't about lifestyle, it's about blood and fairness. The McKinnons pleaded tradition but cracks showed. Liam privately approached Elena, offering a truce. Maybe we can share, he muttered, eyes averted. Elena refused. Not after what you've done. The rejection isolated her further, but it affirmed her resolve. As the jury deliberated, Elena paced her apartment, Lucinda by her side. Whatever happens, we've won something bigger, Lucinda whispered. Elena pulled her close, realizing love was her true inheritance. Days later, the verdict came. Elena won. The estate was hers. Cheers erupted from supporters, but Elena felt numb. The McKinnons vowed appeals, vowing to drag it out. Media swarmed, labeling her a trailblazer. But at home, exhaustion hit. Is this what freedom feels like? She asked Lucinda. The question lingered unanswered as they navigated the new reality. With the fortune secured, Elena's life transformed overnight. She moved into a sleek penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan, the opulence a stark contrast to her trailer park roots. But wealth brought new battles. Taxes, investments, philanthropy, decisions piled up, each one a reminder of her inexperience. She hired advisors, but paranoia crept in. Were they loyal or eyeing their cut? The $50 betrayal echoed, making trust elusive. Socially, invitations flooded in, from galas to board seats. Elena attended her first Pride event as a public figure, arm in arm with Lucinda. Flashbulbs popped, headlines praising the lesbian heiress. But beneath the glamour, isolation grew. Old friends resented her sudden status, accusing her of forgetting her roots. You think you're better now? One texted. Elena donated to foster care programs, but it felt insufficient. Guilt over Maria nagged. She sent anonymous checks, but her mother squandered them, spiraling deeper. Lucinda thrived in the spotlight, her journalism career booming with insider access. But cracks appeared. We need to define us, Lucinda said one evening, over candlelit dinner. Elena froze. Marriage? The idea thrilled and terrified. After everything, I want forever. Lucinda pressed. Elena hesitated, memories of abandonment flashing. What if it falls apart? The argument simmered, unresolved. Lucinda withdrew, spending nights at her office. Elena buried herself in work, launching a foundation for LGBTQ+ youth, channeling pain into purpose. Then came the backlash. Conservative groups boycotted McKinnon-linked companies, labeling Elena a threat to family values. Death threats arrived, forcing her to hire security. One night, a brick shattered their window scrawled with slurs. Lucinda held her as she shook. "This is the price," Elena whispered. "For being me." Lucinda nodded, but fear etched her face. The incident prompted Elena to speak out, granting interviews about her journey. "I was sold for $50 because of who I am," she told a national audience. "But I won't hide anymore." The vulnerability connected, inspiring letters from struggling teens. Yet, personal tolls mounted. Sophia McKinnon, bitter from defeat, leaked private emails to tabloids. Intimate exchanges between Elena and Lucinda. Headlines screamed betrayal. Heiress's steamy secrets exposed. Elena confronted Sophia at a family mediation. "Why?" she demanded. Sophia sneered. "You stole our life. This is payback." The encounter revealed Sophia's own suppressed desires. A closeted affair in college, quashed by family pressure. "I envy you," Sophia admitted quietly. Elena left stunned, pondering the cycles of pain. Reconnecting with Maria became inevitable. Elena visited her in a dingy motel, finding her frail and remorseful. "I was scared," Maria confessed. "My parents beat it into me. Being different was sin." Elena listened, anger softening to pity. "You chose fear over me." Maria nodded, tears falling. Elena offered rehab, a chance at redemption. "Take it or not, that's your decision." Maria accepted, but the road was rocky, relapses testing Elena's patience. Forgiving meant reliving trauma, but it freed her incrementally. Lucinda's patience waned. "You're giving her everything, but what about us?" she asked during a tense drive. Elena pulled over. "I'm trying to break the cycle." Lucinda sighed. "At what cost?" The ultimatum loomed. Commit fully or lose her. Elena chose love, proposing on a starry night rooftop. "Marry me, Lucinda. Let's build our legacy." Lucinda said yes, rings exchanged in tears. But joy was tempered. Wedding planning exposed divides. Lucinda wanted a public spectacle. Elena craved intimacy, fearing more scrutiny. As preparations unfolded, external pressures intensified. Liam sued again, claiming fraud. Court dates resumed, dredging up old wounds. Elena testified about the $50 sale. Voice steady but eyes haunted. The judge dismissed the claim, but the stress triggered migraines, sleepless nights. Lucinda supported her, but burnout showed. "We need a break," Lucinda suggested. They escaped to a cabin in the woods, reconnecting without distractions. "This is what matters," Elena realized, holding Lucinda close. Returning, Elena faced a moral dilemma. The McKinnon fortune included investments in anti-LGBTQ+ lobbying firms. Divesting meant financial hits, but integrity demanded it. She sold off shares, donating proceeds to equality causes. The move alienated business allies, costing millions. "Worth it," she told Lucinda. The decision empowered her, shifting from victim to agent of change. But shadows persisted. An anonymous tip revealed Rick, the man who bought her, was alive and boasting online. Elena tracked him down, confronting him in a seedy bar. "You ruined me," she said. Rick shrugged. "Just business." Elena walked away, choosing closure over revenge. The encounter solidified her growth. No more letting others define her worth. As the wedding neared, Elena reflected on the journey. From soul child to empowered woman, the costs immense but transformative. The wedding day dawned crisp in Chicago's Botanical Gardens, an intimate ceremony with close friends and newfound allies. Elena, in a tailored white suit, exchanged vows with Lucinda, who glowed in a flowing gown. "Through betrayals and battles, you've been my anchor," Elena said, voice thick with emotion. Lucinda smiled. "And you've taught me courage." Rings slipped on, sealing their union amid applause. But even here tension lurked. Maria attended, sober for the first time in years, her presence a fragile truce. Honeymoon in Hawaii brought respite. Lazy beaches whispered dreams. Kids? Lucinda broached. Elena nodded tentatively. If we can protect them. Back home reality crashed. Paparazzi hounded, turning private joy public. Elena's foundation thrived, funding scholarships for queer youth, but threats escalated. One evening, a stalker approached at an event shouting slurs. Security intervened, but Elena's nerves frayed. Is this our life now? She asked Lucinda. The question hung, unanswered. Professional reinvention followed. Elena stepped into philanthropy full-time, leveraging the McKinnon name for good. She spoke at conferences sharing her story. Society sells us lies about who we can love. I was literally sold because of it. Audiences resonated, but critics accused exploitation. She's profiting off pain, one op-ed claimed. Elena pushed back in interviews, but doubt crept. Was she a hero or a hypocrite? Family dynamics evolved. Sophia reached out, apologetic. I was wrong, she admitted over coffee. Watching you fight inspired me to come out. Elena hugged her, bridges mending. Liam remained distant, but civility emerged. Maria's recovery progressed. Weekly calls built tentative bonds. I'm proud of you, Maria said once. Elena teared up. Forgiveness wasn't easy, it demanded ongoing effort, each slip a reminder of past hurts. But marital strains surfaced. Lucinda's career demanded travel, leaving Elena alone with her thoughts. Loneliness amplified insecurities. Do you regret us? Elena asked after a late-night argument. Lucinda reassured, but seeds of doubt grew. Therapy helped, uncovering Elena's abandonment issues. I fear you'll leave like everyone else. Lucinda shared her fears. I worry you'll retreat into your shell. Honesty strengthened them but required constant work. A major crisis hit when a hacker leaked financial records, exposing Elena's donations to controversial causes. Stocks plummeted, lawsuits threatened. This could bankrupt us, her advisor warned. Elena refused to back down. Principles over profit. The stand cost $10 million, but garnered support from progressives. Lucinda stood by her, co-authoring an article defending the moves. Their partnership deepened, turning adversity to alliance. Personal awakening continued. Elena volunteered at shelters, meeting kids like her younger self. One girl, Mia, shared a similar story, rejected for being bi. Elena mentored her, offering stability. You don't have to pay the price I did, she said. The role fulfilled but exhausted. Lucinda noticed. You're giving too much. Elena agreed, scaling back for balance. As years passed, the story compressed time but tensions built. A betrayal struck. An advisor embezzled funds, fleeing with millions. Elena's trust shattered anew. How could I be so blind? She raged. Lucinda calmed her. We'll recover. Legal pursuits ensued, recovering half, but the loss stung. It forced Elena to confront naivety, tightening controls. Socially, acceptance grew. Elena hosted galas, normalizing queer wealth. But internalized homophobia lingered, subtle doubts in quiet moments. Am I enough? She confided to Lucinda. Their love evolved from passionate to profound, each challenge forging resilience. A pivotal choice arose: adopting a child. After vetting, they welcomed Lily, a toddler from foster care. Joy overflowed, but fears resurfaced. What if society hurts her because of us? Elena worried. Lucinda reassured. We'll fight for her. Parenthood tested them, sleepless nights, judgments from playgroups. But it healed Elena, breaking the cycle her mother started. Yet shadows from the past returned. Rick contacted her, dying and seeking forgiveness. I was wrong, he wheezed. Elena visited, offering closure. I forgive you, for me, not you. The act liberated, closing old chapters. As stability settled, Elena pondered her legacy. Not just money but change. She wrote a memoir, detailing the journey from sold girl to heiress. The book topped charts, sparking debates on inheritance, identity, and forgiveness. With the memoir's release, Elena became a cultural icon. Her story dissected in podcasts and panels. From $50 to 50 million headlines blared, but she emphasized the human cost. Wealth doesn't erase trauma, she told interviewers. Fan mail poured in, stories mirroring hers, Queer kids disowned, fighting for belonging. Elena responded personally, her foundation expanding nationwide. But fame's double edge cut deep. Lucinda struggled with the spotlight, resenting constant intrusions. "I miss our privacy," she confessed during a rare quiet evening. Elena nodded, guilt-heavy. They instituted boundaries. No photos of Lily, limited appearances. Yet demands persisted. A documentary offer tempted. Expose the McKinnon's bigotry for catharsis. Elena debated, weighing exposure against peace. "It could help others," Lucinda encouraged. Elena agreed, but filming dredged pain, reenactments of the sale, interviews with Maria. Tears flowed, but empowerment followed. Family reconciliation peaked at a holiday gathering. Sophia brought her girlfriend. Liam thought, toasting unity. Maria, 2 years sober, gifted Elena a locket, her own mother's, symbolizing passed-down strength. "I broke the chain, you mended it," Maria said. Elena embraced her. Forgiveness complete but cautious. Marital bliss wasn't immune. Lucinda's promotion required cross-country moves. "Chicago or career?" Lucinda asked. Elena paused. "Us first." Lucinda declined, choosing family. The sacrifice mirrored Elena's past trade-offs, binding them closer. They co-parented Lily, navigating biases, school forms listing parent 1 and 2, subtle exclusions. Elena advocated, pushing for inclusive policies. A final trial emerged. Health scares. Elena's stress-induced illness hospitalized her. "I pushed too hard," she admitted from the bed. Lucinda held her hand. "We're scaling back." Recovery forced reflection. Was the fortune a blessing or curse? Divesting more, Elena focused on impact over accumulation. Years blurred. Lily growing into a confident teen. Elena watched her thrive, free from the shadows that haunted her youth. "You gave me what I never had," Elena told Lucinda one anniversary. Their love, tempered by fire, endured. But questions lingered. Had the battles been worth it? Elena's life, a tapestry of loss and gain, sparked endless debate. Was selling a child for $50 an unforgivable act? Or could societal pressures ever justify such a desperate choice?